All right. Hello, Ashleigh. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
We are just touring the best car dealerships in Brevard County today.
I've had so much fun. I'm like,
It's amazing. You know, this morning, first thing, we started out at the Boniface Hiers Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram store and taking a look at that beautiful Challenger, which we're going to talk about because you drove that car. You know all about that one, too.
I did. And Charisse was the one that got to play with it this morning, but then I got to play with the Camaro, so it's all good.
Right, because that was our next stop. We stopped over at Boniface Hiers. We actually got to see AJ Hiers. He popped in to say hello, and that was great. We got to look at that Camaro. That was fantastic again. And then we're also just back over from Boniface Hiers Kia and checking out that beautiful Kia Sportage. And look where we are now. We're in Boniface Hiers Mazda, and we have this beautiful Mazda RX-7 to take a look at. Now, this is an amazing car. You got to sit, and I know you're going to take a closer look at this one, but I remember last time you were like, this is a pretty cool car.
It is. It is. I mean, it looks small, but when you sit in it, it feels right. Yeah.
Yeah. No. And so why are we here? Why are we doing this today? Because this is Grand Raffle Day, Grand Car Raffle Day. And, you know, I was just looking at the sign, Ashley. It looks like you've been busy. What happened here?
Well, our original date was in April, but then COVID happened. And then we were expecting to be able to have everyone at the Muscle Car Museum today, but instead we're just going to do a virtual drawing and everyone can watch it from home.
That's right. So this is really important. I got to say this because we're just like a couple of hours away now from the grand drawing. The grand drawing is 6 p.m. tonight, Eastern time. And I got to say it's Eastern time because we're getting ticket orders from all over the country. We've had them come in from the West Coast. We've had them come from the Northeast. We've had them come in from Illinois. So people are getting their raffle car tickets. But if you're going to get a raffle car ticket and be represented in the drawing, has to happen by 5:30 p.m. Eastern time tonight. That's the last ticket sold. Why that's important? 5:30 p.m. because you can absolutely send in money after 5:30. We'll gladly appreciate any donations, always with Helping Seniors, but you won't make the raffle car hopper at that point because Marty, who's our business manager, she keeps very meticulous records. So what happens is when she gets that ticket number, she matches that up, make sure the donation is connected to that, puts it in the hopper, then that's how we know that. But it's also actually how we know when people, if they say, well, I lost my ticket, but I want to come to the Muscle Car Museum when you guys open it up, she can go back and she can say, you know, this person's on the list. So while we are not able to open the American Muscle Car Museum today, so the museum is closed. I got to say that like 3 times. The museum is not open to the public. Can you say it so that we say it 3 times?
The museum isn't open today, but it will be open in the future.
So that's exactly right. So the museum will be open. Mark Pylock, who is the gracious owner, he's been so generous and so kind and such a friend to Joe Steckler and Helping Seniors. You know, from the very first day the museum was open, this is now actually our 3rd grand drawing that we're having there at the Muscle Car Museum.
Yeah, I'm starting to feel right at home there.
And it is an amazing place. And we have fortunately been able to spend a lot of time out there because, you know, here's the cool part. While we can't go in there physically today, in fact, when we do the drawing, we are actually going to be outside the building. We're going to be standing under the portico. We'll have all the cars there. We're going to, Mark Pylock's lovely wife is going to reach in the hopper and she's going to pull out the ticket. Mark does such a great kind of like dramatic reading. He gets everybody like, okay, what's that last number? So he'll read out the winner, and then we'll try to get the winner on the phone and find out who actually wins. Well, we'll know who wins, but we'll find out, hopefully, which car that they want to pick.
Yeah, and especially what color.
That's true. Everybody asks that question. They say, you know, you guys always show the red cars, and here we are with a white Mazda. Well, this is the point. We show the red cars because that's the Helping Seniors color. You can pick whichever color car that you prefer. In fact, what was a funny story, a couple of years ago, you remember we gave away that beautiful 1951 Ford Hot Rod. It was straight out of AJ Hiers' collection. AJ and Joe go way, way back, and AJ took Joe aside he said, I want to help you guys get this thing going with Helping Seniors. I've helped you before. I want to do this. I'm giving you a car from my personal collection. He gave us this beautiful Hot Rod 1951 Ford. So the guy wins it. It's a local guy in Satellite Beach. He wasn't there at the museum that night, but he says, you know, this is great. I don't really know what to do with it. He said, but I've had a hankering for a Jeep. So guess what? They all worked it out. The guy gets the Jeep. AJ got that beautiful Ford back, and everybody went home a winner from that one. So the point is, whatever car, the way the official rules read, you get the base model of either a 2020 Chevrolet Camaro, 2020 Dodge Challenger, 2020 Kia Sportage, or a 2020 Mazda Miata convertible, and you get to pick. And so from there, you can upgrade if you want. You can choose different colors. $10, whatever you want to do. It's up to you, but you got to be in it to win it. So let's talk about how we get Helping Seniors car raffle tickets.
Well, you can click on the link above or go to helpingseniorscarraffle.com, and it's $5 for $100 or $25 each.
But clearly, the 5 for 100 is the way to go. Why do we say that? Because number one, you're going to have the most impact on what we do as a charity. And we're going to talk about that as why it's important to support Helping Seniors. Number two, that gives you 5 times as many chances as one ticket would in terms of winning the car. And like we talked about before, this is not a national contest where you're competing with millions of other entrants or even hundreds of thousands or even tens of thousands. So you have really pretty good odds if you like to look at it that way. But everybody who gets a ticket is a winner because you're going to be able to go to the American Muscle Car Museum, just not tonight. We'll make sure that we get you the information as Mark sets those dates aside. And Mark even said, look, he said, I want seniors to come out here and enjoy this. I'll even get spring for pizza and sodas for everybody. So it'll be just a really nice time out there. So, with that, you got to get your tickets, though, before 5:30 p.m. So I'm going to ask, we brought some great friends of Helping Seniors out. So I'm going to ask Tracy Graff. Tracy is a great friend of Helping Seniors with Avid Home Care Services. She's a registered nurse, has been a wealth of information. We have done a lot of great radio programs, TV programs, and things together. I really appreciate so much you being part of the Helping, everything that you're doing and being part of the Helping Seniors family.
I appreciate everything that Helping Seniors actually does for me. We were talking before we started here about, the ability to share knowledge through the radio program, the TV programs, the updates. What else do I do? Oh, write an article for your magazine. Yes. Those things, I think for me, it's great for me to share that knowledge and to just be part of the whole resource system that your organization provides people. I think it's really important.
People say that. They say, if I give my money to Helping Seniors, what am I actually paying for? Well, besides the car raffle and the fun stuff. Let me tell you what you're actually paying for. You're helping keep the work of Helping Seniors go. This is now our 10th year. So apparently the story goes like 15 years ago, there was actually a senior helpline here in Brevard County. But when the economy got a little shaky, that dried up. And so all those resources went over to Orlando. And so Joe Steckler in 2010, he said, I want to put together an organization that will serve seniors. He had already built the Joe's Clubs, done all that with the Brevard Alzheimer's, and he said, I really want to do something that's going to keep this going and growing. So what I want to do is create Helping Seniors. I want to create that local senior information helpline. Some problems are fine. You can talk to somebody who's out of state or whatever, but so many things have to do. You got to know what's happening right in the hometown. This is a medical problem. This is a legal question. This is a transportation question. You got to have somebody who knows what's happening on the ground. So the number one thing that we do as a charity is we have the Helping Seniors information line, which is 321-473-7770. And on that number, Kim Bernard, who's our education specialist, she handles like hundreds of calls every month. And most of them, they can be fairly simple requests. But since that time, we've helped more than 3,400 families free of charge, because that's what we do as a charity. And we're not a big organization, but we know who to call to get things done. And by you being part of that network, you as a registered nurse, you as a person that's involved in home care services, you as a person that has particularly a lot of background in senior as it comes to psychiatric and mental and those kind of things, you've really been a great resource to this organization with your knowledge.
Thank you, Kerry. I don't know I didn't expect you to just say that, but I mean, I appreciate it, and I love that Kim knows all of us personally. So when people do call and ask Kim questions, she knows sort of which one of us are going to be the better fit for her, for the client. And I think it just helps that she knows all of us. She knows what our businesses are. She knows what we do, what we can help people with. And sometimes she doesn't know exactly which resources, and she'll reach out to, like myself and say, what other kind of resources can we get for this client? So, I think it's a great team, and I like being a part of it.
I have seen Kim pull out all the stops. She'll run into a case and she'll do a 911 call of everybody she knows, and it's amazing what she is able to get accomplished. And Joe also knows all that experience over these years. There's no better resource to go to figure out if there's a way to solve the problem. Those guys are going to know how to do it. So Tracy, one other thing I would just say to you, if you wanted to look at the camera and say something about why it would be important for other people to get their car raffle ticket and just support this work.
I think well, especially if you live in Brevard County, there are a lot of senior citizens here in this county, thankfully, because they help my business. But, I think it's really important. I think as they get older, they don't always know which way to turn. Things are very complicated, especially when it comes to things like home care, insurance, legal questions. Where do you go? What do you do? And I think helping seniors is so great in being able to point people in the right direction, not waste their time, give them good, solid contacts that are trustworthy, ethical people. So.
No, I agree. It's fun. It's funny, as we were talking before the cameras were rolling, Greg Schwindeman, who is another good friend of Helping Seniors, he's an attorney with the law office of Amy Van Fossen. He put it beautifully. I want to give him credit for that. He goes, he said people talk about making a hurricane plan, right? So we live in Florida. We understand we have to plan for this. And Joe is talking about having an aging plan, because you never know what storms of life you're going to run into. And that's why the work of Helping Seniors is so important. So thank you, Tracy, for being out here. You got your tickets. Do you have a car in mind?
I would want the SUV. I think we talked about that on the radio.
Yes. Well,
You like the red. I will say I like the red.
so we're putting you down for the red Kia Sportage. Well, I know you thank you for taking time. I know you're like busy managing with patients and everything else. Thank you for stopping in, and thank you for being part of Helping.
Thanks for letting me be a part of it.
Oh, thank you, Tracy. So,
See you later.
all right, thanks. Ashleigh, come on back in. I think we're going to take a tour of this car. So you've got Michael here, who is he was here before, and this was terrific, talking about the features of this amazing car. So take it away.
Okay. All right. Can you walk me through it? Here, you need that.
Yeah. So this is the 2020 Mazda Miata. This is the Grand Touring Edition with the red Napa leather interior. This is actually the 100th anniversary edition Miata, so it's kind of a one-of-a-kind. Mazda's been around for 100 years doing great things. It's a 6-speed automatic transmission, 181 horsepower, 181 pounds of torque. Fully automatic convertible. Plenty of room there in the trunk if you want to go on a weekend trip or something, pack a bag, go up to the mountain, something like that. The interior itself, the screen there is where you're going to see all the infotainment screen stuff with your Bluetooth, your radio. It has Apple CarPlay or Android CarPlay. You have heated seats there too. Nice leather wrap steering wheel, leather wrap shifter. The trunk buttons over here, the hood's also on this side, so everything's pretty easily accessible to get to. You have a home link feature there too, so you can set your garage door opener to it as well.
Awesome. This is pretty cool. So it's crazy that someone could be winning one of these cars in 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. Thank you. So again, if you want your tickets to win a car like this, it's helpingseniorscarraffle.com, and it's 5 for $100 or 1 for $25. And again, the drawing is at 6 o'clock tonight. The last time to buy tickets is 5:30, and the tickets support Helping Seniors of Brevard, but they also get you into the car museum at a later date. So, is there anything special you want to tell us about this car?
Other than the fact that it's fun to drive? No, like I said, this one's a 100th anniversary edition Miata, so this is the only one you're going to find with the red Napa leather seats. It has the 100th anniversary edition insignia on all the wheels, as well as on the side there too. And it's also on the key fob as well, and a few other places on the interior of the car. So this is a one-of-a-kind Miata.
That's awesome. Okay. All right. Kerry, do we have more guests?
We do.
Yeah, I see some.
We do. Thank you, Ashleigh. So we were just talking about Greg Schwindeman. We were name dropping, so let's bring Greg in. Greg is elder law attorney par excellence with the law office of Amy Van Fossen, and Amy has been a friend of Helping Seniors going back, again, almost to the time that Joe started the organization. And we've had really a pleasure of doing a number of important television programs of information. We talked about guardianship is one that really comes up, and I remember really getting a lesson from you about how important it is about getting paperwork done so that you don't have to go into a guardianship and things like that. And then, like I was just bragging on you a minute, because I thought that was a great way to encapsulate what we do with helping seniors, is how you'd put it. You know, you might have a hurricane plan. What about your aging plan? So let me ask you a little bit about why, you know, I know it's a business. I know being in the legal business is what you guys do, and you're considered an essential business. You've been open throughout the whole COVID thing. But just, you know, I've seen how you guys really care for people, and you want to see them not make mistakes.
Yeah, that's true. You know, this is probably an appropriate place to say, when you come to AJ Hiers, they talk about warranty forever. Yeah. Well, we don't have that in our lives. What we have to do is plan. And so, you know, when you come to us and you're thinking about, well, what happens when I get older? That is the time to make the plan while you have capacity. That's the time to talk to us about a power of attorney so you can name someone that you trust. That's the time to look at a healthcare surrogate and living will, who will help you when you're ill. And also the time to look at estate planning, a prenatal guardianship, and all of the things that we can help you decide now while you have capacity. As we were talking before you went on the air, the worst call I think all of your guests today get is help. Dad's incapacitated, or dad has dementia, I need help. That's too late. That means at that point we're probably looking at guardianship. So please give us a call before that happens, and we'll help you plan.
Yeah, I think it's so important. What is a phone number that people can reach you guys at? And then I have something I want to add about that too.
Sure. The number they can reach us at is 321-345-5945, and that is answered 24 hours a day.
You know, and what I was going to say is, because I have watched Amy over the years, she has been tireless about making sure that you guys do a lot of what I would call community education information, where she does seminars. I've seen you do the seminars where you guys are giving people information that is really helping them wrap their heads around the questions that they should be thinking about. And I know even in COVID times, you guys had moved some stuff to Zoom, and it's much like what we do with helping seniors at Brevard. We're really committed to information. I always tell people, you can't pull out a newspaper without seeing a column from Joe Steckler, our president and founder. He is the most tireless senior advocate that you could ever imagine for Brevard County, but also, you know, the newsletter and the Senior Scene magazine. We do the television programs 3 times a day on Space Coast Government TV. We do the radio show once a week on 90.3 FM. We do the Helping Seniors updates on all the social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, everything else. And the whole point is, we live in a county 72 miles north to south, and like, if you are going to make an aging plan, you got to figure this stuff out ahead of time. But that's what I see you guys do. You offer, like, you know, VA planning benefits, I've seen, just talk about some of the different seminars and things that you guys have done.
Sure. Yes, we do elder law. That's a big umbrella, and under that is the estate planning and VA benefits and everything. But as you're saying, one of the passions that Amy has is helping the seniors and helping the community. So what she's done is she's offered free seminars. And so if you call our office at 321-345-5945 or go to our website, amybvanfossen.com, you'll find a schedule there. And we have seminars on guardianship, on estate planning, on Medicaid, on VA benefits. And the reason she does that is to educate the elderly in our society as well as their family, so that the family members can help their loved ones make the plans for the future. And those seminars, again, are absolutely free.
Yeah, and I got to tell you, you know, another great resource is look on our own website, helpingseniorsbrevard.org. You'll see television programs that we've had the privilege of doing together with you and with Amy at the office. Just great starting information to help you. And then the thing that I have learned from talking to them over and over is, don't run down to the office supply store and pick up these forms. You need to get help from somebody that really can steer you the right way.
Absolutely. The most expensive fix is when people come to us and they've had a non-lawyer try to apply for Medicaid or for various VA benefits. Please don't do that. You wouldn't drill your own teeth. You wouldn't go and do your own medical exams. You go to a doctor. Same thing with your legal papers. These have more impact on your life than perhaps anything. Go to an elder law attorney, such as we have at we have 4 attorneys in our firm. we will be able to help you at the law office of Amy B. Van Fossen.
That's great. So, and before we let you get back onto your Saturday business, so have you figured out which car you take if you win?
I have a 15-year-old son who's about to get a license, so I want the slowest, safest, most boring vehicle they have.
That's going to be a challenge because with all of AJ's dealerships, I don't think they have too many of those.
They don't, but I'll be happy. I'll probably push for a Camaro.
Okay, sounds good. Another one for Team Camaro. Ashleigh, come on back in. Greg, thank you for being with us today. So appreciate it. We'll find out if you're the winner at 6 p.m. or if you're the winner at 6 p.m. Thank you again. So, Ashleigh, let's remind them one more time how this works. If they're going to get tickets, they got to do it by
5:30. 5:28 if you want to start online and go through the whole process.
That's true. You should allow yourself a minute or two to make sure your ticket actually goes all the way through. Because every once in a while, somebody will punch in like the wrong zip code and it kicks it out. And so you want to make sure you get it in right. So Ashleigh said it right. 5:30 p.m. because the grand drawing is
at 6 o'clock.
Perfect. And we will be broadcasting live beginning at 5 p.m. However, I got to say this over and over and over. We are not, the museum is not open to the public. It's not even open to us. We're going to be actually in the little front covered area, and we're going to do the drawing from outside the museum. So we will not be in the museum. If you missed seeing the museum, there's some really cool tour stuff that we put on the Helping Seniors website. If you go to helpingseniors.carraffle.com, you will see the tour of the museum. You want to tell us real quick what we got to see?
Well, we got to see the stories behind so many of the cars. Ed was nice enough to walk us through and tell us the background of all of them because they really have interesting stories. They all have a life of their own. And then he let some of us play in some of the cars.
Yeah, the Dodge versus Chevy challenge. Tell us about that, Ashleigh.
It was an hour of just giggling. It was so much fun. These cars are so awesome, and Mark is so gracious to let us race them around his property.
Yes. It was fantastic. And the most fun part is when you see the GoPro, because Hal, our amazing camera and technical guy, he put GoPros in the cars with y'all. And it was just funny to watch the outtake, especially the outtakes, but just all of it was hilarious because you guys would romp on the accelerator and it was just, the fun was on.
Yeah, it was kind of like a roller coaster, that first takeoff.
So that's so good. So, hey, listen, so you got to get your ticket at helpingseniors.carraffle.com. But before we wind up, we have another great friend of Helping Seniors. I'm going to ask Vicki Moore with Care Plus and Humana. Now, Vicki has a very special role with what's going on. Hey, Vicki, how are you today?
I'm doing great, Kerry. How are you?
This is car raffle day, you know?
It's an exciting day. I'm so excited to be here.
So, you know, what is great about the thing that we've had the privilege of partnering together on is a thing called the Art of Healthy Living. And I just love how this has come together because, you know, oftentimes we're dealing with very serious topics regarding aging, but a lot of times people say, listen, I just want to try to find a way to stay as healthy as I can be with all the things. And I think that's what this series is really all about.
Definitely, definitely. We've had some great topics. Last week we talked about Medicare 101, which we're in that time of the year right now where that is so important to know what your options are with Medicare. We've talked about organic foods. We've talked about how to boost your immunity system. So yeah, it's been really great, and it's really great topics.
Yeah, and it happens every other Friday at 11:30 is the time that we set aside. So we do this thing called Helping Seniors Update, which is our senior information effort on social media. And so we do a Facebook Live thing where you have some wonderful presentations. I got to tell you, if you missed the one on Medicare 101, because, you know, all these things are getting into your mailbox as we go along. And so you're going to get inundated with paperwork telling you got to get, you know, sign up for this or sign up for that. As we talked about and you shared in that series, you really have to understand because, you know, the donut hole, all these things related to your prescriptions, different things go on. It really has to be custom tailored to your situation. And so I remember as you got to the end of that and you were saying, do you have any questions, Kerry? I said, well, it really sounds like, you know, you really have to sit down with somebody and say, well, here's my situation. This is what, you know, my life looks like, and then that puts you in a position to really say, well, based on all that, this is the right way that might help you the most.
Right, you're exactly right. I mean, there's no one person or multiple people that have the same situation. Everybody's situation is different, and that's why it's so important to sit down with somebody that does know Medicare to kind of help you sort through all of your options. I mean, when you're just aging in, just turning 65, you've got a certain window where you can get enrolled in a plan without a penalty, and you want to take advantage of that for sure. But you have to decide, do I want a Medicare supplement? Do I need a prescription drug plan? Do I go with the Medicare Advantage plan? If I do I want an HMO or a PPO? or what company do I go to? So many options, and that's what I'm here for. I can help kind of sort through all those options.
No, it's really valuable because I got to tell you, if you didn't get a chance to see that particular Art of Healthy Living, go back and find it. All you got to do is search on our Facebook page or YouTube page or even on our Helping Seniors page. Just type in Art of Healthy Living and that whole series will come up. And Vicki, I really appreciate you guys helping. You've been partnering with Helping Seniors for a while, and so really good that you do, and really appreciative of that. If people want to get in touch with you guys directly and say, okay, it is Medicare, I'm getting all this stuff, I'm getting all this junk mail, help me sort it out.
So to get in touch with us directly, we do have an office. We are located at 4100 North Wickham Road in the Post Common Shopping Center. Because of COVID, our office has actually been closed. We do have somebody manning the office now, but we're being very, very careful, especially with, who we work with. We work with seniors and, our most vulnerable. So we want to make sure everybody's safe. We are doing appointments now. We're allowed to go back out because it's that very important time of the year. But we're not meeting in homes, so we can set up appointments at at restaurants or wherever you're comfortable setting up appointments. But we can sit down, we can work virtually, we can work by phone. So lots of options. We just want to make sure you're getting the information that you need and able to get enrolled or make sure you're enrolled in the right plans. One thing I do want to say, Kerry, is this time of year, you've gotten your annual notice of change, so you know what your plan's going to look like if you've had a plan in the past. So you want to make those comparisons. So ask a lot of questions because your new plans will go into effect next year if you have an Advantage plan. Yeah. So that's real important to ask questions, and we're here to help. Now, if you want to reach somebody directly, I can be reached at 321-272-0218. That's my direct cell phone, and I'm happy to answer questions at any time. And
that's great. And I really appreciate all that we're doing with the Art of Healthy Living because I get so much good information. But back to the car raffle. You've got your tickets. Have you figured out which car you're after?
This is the car that I want. I think I'll go with the Mazda. I actually drive a Mazda now, which I love. I have the CX-5, and I think I would go with the Mazda Miata. A little fun.
I love it. Well, thank you, Vicki, for stopping by. We're getting ready to start moving towards some conversations as we get towards the museum. But thanks for popping by this afternoon. I'm going to ask Ashleigh to come back in, and thank you, Vicki. And we're going to talk just for a minute to do this one more time, so we remind everybody what time.
Drawing is at 5. Oh, last ticket sale is 5:30. Drawing is at 6.
Perfect, and that's right. So and that's Eastern time. So if you're going to be in this thing, your time is running out. You got to get your ticket, be in it to win it. HelpingSeniorsCarRaffle.com, HelpingSeniorsCarRaffle.com. That will get you several things. It will get you where you can buy your tickets online, 1 for $25, 5 for $100. You can also see all the fun tour of the museum that Mark Pylock graciously arranged for us with his operations manager, Ed Diedick. It was just so fun to hear like the backstories of those cars.
Yeah, and they know them all. Like there's a funny story for almost every car.
Yeah, to me, one of the funny things was he goes like, stand over here by this Camaro, and he pulls the model off the top of it. He said, the model that you're holding, he said, they came out here to make this model from Mark's car. It's just amazing. So you can see all that. But again, the museum is not open to the public. So you got to get your ticket. We're going to be outside the museum doing the drawing. So you'll be able to see that on Facebook Live. But there are make good dates coming up. So I guess we're about out of time for here at the beautiful Boniface Hiers Mazda dealership with this beautiful car. So let's look at the camera and anything else that you want to make a last minute appeal and say, buy a ticket.
It's going to be a fun day to go to the museum. So even if you think you have no luck and you never win anything, you'll certainly be granted entrance to the museum at a later date. So
absolutely. So be in it to win it. So I'm Kerry Fink on behalf of Joe Steckler. Thank you, Ashleigh, and on behalf of Kim Bernard, our education specialist, and the entire team, thank you for supporting the work of Helping Seniors. We will see you out at the museum online because it's not open to the public. We'll see you there. The broadcast begins at 5 p.m. Again, online only, Facebook Live and YouTube Live. So we'll see you then. As AJ Hiers would say,
thank you.
Bye.